So how is the Singapore technology sector doing in terms of the stock market? Are we able to see more strength in the coming days or in the next few weeks? So just about 2 weeks back, I did a video on the Singapore, the SG tech sector, and I covered 4 stocks, which is like AEM, Franken, UMS, and Valuetronics. So over the past 2 weeks, we have seen all of them, prices have raised up, have risen by about 5 to even 15%, right, for some of them, and some profit taking started to come back, right? So these 4 stocks, right, AEM, Franken, UMS, and Valuetronics. So today is the 27th of Jan, all right. I mean, look at these 4 counters again to see if there can still be more upside. In fact, these are the counters which are still in my watch list, and even though they have risen by quite a fair bit, by 5 to maybe even 15% for some of them, I still feel that them potentially can still have a bit more upside and the uptrend can still continue, right? So we'll look at the levels again. What are the new support levels, and maybe whether the targets can be raised higher again. Do stick around all the way to the end of this video because we're going to cover these 4 stocks: AEM, Franken, UMS, and Valuetronics, which is pretty much in the Singapore technology sector, and I think you're going to like what I got for you. So the first counter I'll share with you will be this counter called AEM, right? One of the leaders of the Singapore technology sector, and right now it's trading at about 4.16. So today is the 27th of January. The time now is 6:05 p.m. So the market has kind of closed for the day, and AEM has closed at about 4.16. So just about 2 weeks back, I think somewhere on the 12th of Jan, right over here, I kind of did a video on the 4 stocks, and AEM is one of them. We're then about $3.80. So I mentioned about this really critical resistance at $3.80. And after that to that $4 psychological resistance level, and if that $4 were to break through, all right, that's where we can see a bit more upside, right? So yeah, then it was like about 380, so you've kind of like pushed up by about, I would say, another 10-11%, all right, currently trading about 4.16. So where can we actually head to next, all right? I mean, is our targets still the same? All right, so let me just go ahead to reiterate the target again for AEM, all right, and perhaps raise the support level higher. So previously I mentioned it's about 380. If you can get past, it's $4. So right now we have already got past that $4 level. So this $4 level, look at this, right? I think I mentioned in the previous video, $4 was actually the very good support we have seen in September last year, holding really well. It kind of broke down and went all the way down to about 340, and that's where it started to consolidate. But 2-3 weeks back, that's where I started to see a bit of bullish actions coming back again with the moving averages. Look at this, the green line, right, kind of sloping upwards and crossing back above the 100 days moving average. So there's some sign of some short-term strength coming back, all right? And yes, we did see it. We broke that $4 as well, all right? So this $4, which was the support in August, September, I would say it would be the support right now. So right now, I would say anything from like $4 to 410, all right, that's where we can potentially see a bit of bargain hunting. It might actually hit down to like maybe near 410. I'm not too sure whether you go down to $4, but anything from 4 to 410, that's a very good support level, and buyers might start to come back again, right, to get in on dips, right, to ride the rebound or maybe the reversal back up to this very critical resistance level, or it could be our target to about $4.40. So I think that was the target I've drawn previously about 2 weeks back, and yes, I think we are still on track to head towards the $4.40. You can see it's about probably another 5 to 8% upside, right, from this range, from $4 to $4.40, right? Why 440? Look at this, just somewhere in August, we kind of headed to there, started to see a bit of profit taking. Buyers just couldn't push it past the level, and kind of retraced back down and eventually broke that $4. So this 440 would be a bit of a resistance. I would say that's where we can see a bit of profit taking. We might hit to there, maybe about 430, 435 plus. Sellers might come back and might kind of retrace back down again. So yeah, it could be a good level to kind of take some money off the table as well. I mean, because that is one of the major resistance levels. So nothing wrong to take some money as it approaches that 440. All right. But in terms of the trend, right, I mentioned for AEM, the longer term trend really looks quite intact. And look at this, right? The blue line I talked about, the 200 days moving average is still pointing up. Prices have been holding above this 200 days moving average since like April last year, sloping upwards very gently. So yeah, longer term trend, it really looks quite good. And the red line, the 100 days moving average, is also kind of like sloping upwards, and it's kind of like above the blue line. So yeah, that points towards a good mid to long term uptrend, right? So hopefully we kind of consolidate below that 440, 450, and if we do consolidate below, that's a good healthy uptrend. All right, then after that we kind of attempt to break that 440, 450 kind of a resistance level. That's where we can see the uptrend continue, right, towards our next high target at probably about that $5 mark. Yeah, so probably after 440, that would be the next target, about $5, right? So this is AEM. Just take note of the resistance level and the support level that has been raised from $3.80 to about $4 right now. Okay, so let's take a look at Franken, right? Franken, FRENCKEN, and this is one of the technology counters I covered as well 2 weeks back. We were somewhere around here, right, just below that 135 level. I mentioned that there could be a potential move above that level, and that was where we were actually seeing some resistance, right? So yes, over the past 1 week plus, we managed to break that 135 resistance level. I was holding really well above that 130, and then we broke that 135, and that's where buyers came back and went all the way to somewhere around that 144, right? So 144, 145, in fact I actually expected to hit to about 150 before some profit taking came back, but it seems like somewhere near 144, 145, and that's where sellers came back to take some profit. All right, but look at this right over here, this $1.35, right? This $1.35, which we were pretty much kept below about 2 weeks back when the call was made, right, would now become the new support level, right? Look at this 135. You can see over the past 1 week plus, we kind of hit it to there. I think the low yesterday was about 136, and buyers came back up. So this 135 would be a new resistance turn support, and the 20 days moving average. Look at this, the green line. Let me just push this down. The green line, the 20 days moving average, the short-term moving average, also kind of coincides with this 135, right? So I think, yeah, in the terms of the short-term trend, all right, with it holding above this 20 days moving average, which is still pointing up, I think the short-term upside still looks intact towards that 145 and potentially towards that 150. 150 would be a major resistance. 140, 144, 145, yeah, probably a bit of resistance. I mean, hopefully we can get past that level, and then we can hit to 150, and that's where some heavy profit taking might come back again. We might start to consolidate below it for a while before attempting to push higher. But so far, in terms of the trend, all right, since we last covered it, it kind of like push higher, but in terms of the trend, I think it still looks quite okay, right? Especially if this 130, 135 support level is holding for now. Okay, so this is Franken right here, mid to long-term trend. Look at this, the 100 days moving average, the 200 days moving average, both of them are all pointing up, so it's looking at a good uptrend for now. So guys, if you like this video, I would appreciate an early thumbs up. It will definitely help out the YouTube algorithm to more people, and thank you so much for doing this. All right, so let's go on to talk about the next stock in the Singapore technology sector, which would be UMS, right? So I covered it as well, all right, just 2 weeks back on the 12th of Jan. I think we're somewhere right over here below the $1.20 critical resistance level. I drew some target to about 120, and that's where we actually expected to be a profit taking. But I mentioned that if we do get past that 120, it would be a really significant or meaningful move towards the upwards direction, whereby targets can be revised to like 130 and 140, right? But why 120? Look at this. I think I mentioned the 120 level, the resistance level. That was where we were somewhere in August. We kind of sold off, so it's very critical that we head back to that same level and we can't attempt to break it. So yes, we did break it over the past 1 to 2 weeks, of course, with the 20 days moving average sloping up and prices holding above that 20 days moving average. So yeah, we kind of like revised our targets higher as well over the past 1 week. Clients were alerted, the inner circle members were alerted as well. So we kind of revised our targets higher to that $1.40, 1.40, about 10 to 15% upside. So yes, we kind of headed towards our target. A bit of profit taking over the past few days. At 140, it came back down. Now it's about $1.36. So where can we potentially head to? Is it like coming back all the way down? I would say right now, the fact that we have gone up by 10 to 15% over the past 2 weeks, we might start to see a bit of profit taking. Okay, I wouldn't say like profit taking like all the way back down, but maybe a bit of consolidation, a bit of sideways movement below that 140, all right? And the next support can be raised higher. So yes, that 120 I mentioned was that support level. The resistance we have broken up, so now 120 would be the support level, but it's a bit too low. The fact that price had pushed higher, we can kind of raise our support level from 120. All right, let me just raise it up probably to about a 110 130, right? So over the past, I would say 4 to 5 days, about a week, it seems like this 130, all right, is kind of like holding, all right? 130 is kind of like holding, and about 132, 133, I think buyers are starting to come back. It kind of rebounded from it. But in fact, today it kind of rebounded from that 133, all right, and buyers came back. So yeah, I would say near-term support about 130, not even 120. I think 120 is a bit too low. Of course, if that 130 would break down, yes, then we might hit to 120, but seems like 130 would be a good support for now, right? So we might consolidate from like 130 to about 140 for now, all right? In the next probably few days, probably next 1 or 2 weeks, it's healthy to see a bit of consolidation before attempting to push higher and breaking that 140. So yeah, I mean, if that 140 to break out again and we do see some bullish price actions there, that's where we can even revise our targets higher, all right, towards that 150 or maybe 160. All right? But right now, I would say 140 is a critical resistance level. We have set out alerts for it. Of course, if we do see some bullish move, that's where we will alert our clients to it as well. All right, so yes, UMS, one of the good stocks. Still in our watch list, I think the uptrend still looks intact above that immediate $1.30 support. Okay guys, the last counter in the Singapore technology sector would be this company called Valuetronics, right? Currently trading about 0.645. So yeah, just about 2 weeks back, I mentioned about it breaking, all right, the very critical resistance level at 62 cents, 0.6. So look at this right over here, this red line that's been, prices have been trading below since June last year, more than 7 to 8 months, right? But we kind of broke that 62 level with some really good, decent price action. So yeah, I kind of pushed higher. I think went to a high of about that 68, 69 cents. In fact, our target was at about 70 cents. So yeah, it kind of headed towards the 70 cents. And that was where some profit taking came back, right? So right now, I would say in terms of the support level, let me just turn this resistance level, the red line to green line right now. So of course, this resistance level at about 62 would be the new support level, right, for the uptrend to really start to form up again. Right, so 62 to maybe about 64. Let me just go ahead to draw another horizontal line right here, probably. Yeah, I would say 62 to 64, this would be a bit of a support zone, I would say. Look at this right here, the 20 days moving average line is right around that 64, 63 mark as well. So anything from 62 to 64, I think that's where we can we can expect a bit of bargain hunting, a bit of buyers coming back in again to kind of catch the rebound back out, right? So 62 to 64 would be a bit of a good support level, but you can also think about accumulating on dips with a plan. All right, of course, if that 62 would break down, then we might see a bit of short-term weakness. But right now, anything above 62 to 64, it could be a good opportunity, all right, to kind of get in to catch the rebound back up. So let me just go to draw some upside rebound targets. It could be back towards that original first target that I've drawn previously, towards that 70 cents, right? So why 70 cents? Look at this, I think I mentioned it as well. 70 cents was the key resistance that I've seen somewhere in May last year, all right? It kind of rebounded there at about 70 cents, and that's where some heavy selling came back again. So yes, we might potentially head towards that 70 cents, and that's where we can see some profit taking. So yeah, it's also good to kind of take some money off the table as we approach any of those major resistance level like the 70 cents for Valuetronics. Right, so this is Valuetronics. I think it still looks okay. As I mentioned, support wise 62 to 64. That's where we can potentially see a bit of bargain hunting coming back. So there we have it, guys. We have come to the end of this video, and I hope that you have taken note of some of the key levels, right, for the 4 stocks that I talked about: AEM, Franken, UMS, and Valuetronics. So as I mentioned, all of them, I think the uptrend in the mid to long term still looks okay. Of course, in the short term, we might see a bit of profit taking, some volatility coming back, a bit of sell down, and then buyers might come back again. But in long term, I think it still looks quite okay as long as some of those key support levels were to hold, right? And these support levels, I think we have covered it 2 weeks back. These support levels have been raised higher because prices have moved up. So as long as those key support levels are holding, I think the uptrend still looks quite intact, and we might actually see a bit more potential over the next few weeks or maybe the next 1 to 2 months. Okay, so I hope you have taken note of these 4 stocks, and I hope you like this video. And if you like it, be sure to give me a thumbs up. It will definitely help out the YouTube channel. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to smash the subscribe button so that you will be alerted to any new videos like this, right? So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to see you in the next video. Joey here. Take care.